in student workbook there is one question.
What chapter is that?
But I don't know. Same chapter, teacher.
What chapter?
8.
We haven't done the workbook yet, so don't worry. We'll go through
Chapter
it later.
8.
I know, but we'll go through it later. Okay, Sushila?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go through it later. But now let's start the lesson first, and we'll go through the workbook later, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so I want you to turn to page 200 and we'll learn about the histology of the skin. So I want you to turn to page 228. 228. 228, textbook, chapter 10. Everyone on chapter 10?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Histology of the skin and physiology of the skin. So we're going to learn in this chapter the functions of the skin, the different layers of the skin, and the important ingredients that we need to choose for the treatment of our customer's skin. Okay, so and then we also need to understanding what causes aging, sun exposure, hormones, and other factors that affect the skin appearance. All right. So our skin, it's also called the integumentary system. Okay. Now remember this word because there might be question coming out asking you about the integumentary system. So the integumentary system is actually our skin. Okay, because our skin has many layers and has many things in there. Okay, even though our skin looks thin, but this is how much information we have in our skin. Okay, so that's why it's called the integumentary system. It's one of the largest organ in our body. Okay, so our skin is one of the largest organ in our body. It is a strong barrier that is designed to protect us from outside elements. Okay, the body system that makes up our outermost layer, okay, are incredibly complex. Complex means complicated. So skin layers, nerves, cellular functions, hair follicles, and glands all work together harmoniously to regulate and protect the body. So hormones, growth factors, and other biochemicals controls the skin's intricate functions. So the basic material and building blocks for our body tissues are proteins. Okay, so proteins are made up of amino acids. So acids are amino acids form peptides, which is part of a protein. So remember, amino acids, when you put them together, they become protein. When you have a group of protein, you see peptides. Peptides is part of the protein. Okay, why do we need peptides? Peptides is found in our body. Peptide bonds. Bonds means glue together. Okay, bond means stick together. So peptide bonds are what holds these amino acids together. So chains of amino acids then become polypeptides. Okay, peptide is one molecule. Polypeptides means many. Okay, so you see the word poly means many. Okay, so proteins are the foundation of our cells and skin. So our skin has millions, okay, mouths, okay, mouths. We have mouths of blood vessels and millions of sweat glands. and also nerves within the network of fibers. Now, appendages of the skin include hair, nails, sweat glands, and oil glands. So remember this, okay? Appendages of the skin has the oil, there's a hair, nails, sweat glands, and oil glands. Healthy skin is slightly moist, soft, smooth, and somewhat acidic. Now, our skin pH is acidic. Okay? So please remember that. Why is the skin acidic? Is because when it's acidic, it can help to fight off bacteria. Okay, this is acid. Okay, 我们的皮肤是酸性的，为什么是酸性？是因为可以防止细菌感染。because 细菌那个酸性可以杀掉那个细菌。So the skin is thickest on the palm of the hand. Okay, the palm of the hand and soles of the feet. Sole of the feet means the bottom of the feet. Okay, so the skin is thickest on the palm of the hand and sole of the feet. Okay, it is the thinnest on the eyelid. So your eyelids skin is the thinnest. Okay, you can see the difference. The palm of the hand is 1/5 of an inch thick, but the eyelid is only 1/16 inch. That's how thin our eyelids are. So the skin of an average adult weighs 7 pounds and averages an area of about 22 square meters in size. So it contains 1/2 to 2/3 of blood in the body and 1/2 of primary immune cells. Now for your information, if you look here, each square meter of your skin, okay, just a square meter, you know a square meter, right? Square meter. So each square inch, sorry, not meter. Each square inch of your skin contains millions of cells, 8 feet of blood vessels, 32 feet of nerves, 650 sweat glands, 100 oil glands, 65 hairs, 1,300 nerve endings, 155 pressure receptacles, and 12 cold and heat receptors. Okay, this is just for your information. You don't have to memorize it. But over here, just remember the palm and the sole of the feet is the thickest skin. Okay, the eyelid is the thinnest skin. Okay, the appendages of the skin include hair, nails, sweat glands, and oil glands. Okay, just remember this. And the skin is your integumentary system, which is one of the largest organ. It's an organ. Okay, 皮肤也算是器官，是我们身体上最大的器官。Okay, now this is a picture of the entire skin. Okay, I want you to look at this first. Epidermis. Okay, epidermis is your first layer of your skin. Epidermis has 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, your epidermis 表皮层有5层。Okay, your epidermis is the first layer of your skin. It has 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then followed by your dermis. Dermis 是真皮. Okay, this one has 2 layers. Okay, the first layer is called the papillary layer. Okay, and the second layer is called the reticular layer. So the dermis has 2 layers. 真皮层有2层. Okay, and then the bottom layer, 真皮层下面的底层, it's called your subcutaneous layer. Okay, subcutaneous layer, or another name for it is called hypodermis. Okay, that's your 3rd layer of your skin. That's your 3rd layer of skin. Okay, so your 3rd layer of skin is called hypodermis or subcutaneous layer. So our skin has 3 layers: epidermis, dermis, and subcutaneous layer. The epidermis has 5 layers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The dermis has 2 layers: papillary layer and reticular layer. And the bottom layer is called the subcutaneous layer. Okay, so we're going to go through this in the next page, but I just want you to look at the picture because this is a very good picture. And you can
Please,
see,
can you
yes,
say again?
what?
Can you explain again?
Which part do you not understand?
Hair follicle have a three layer, right?
Yeah. Epidermis.
Epidermis.
Epidermis. See here? This is your epidermis. Epidermis has 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? They're all called stratum.
Okay.
Stratum. That's your first layer. Stratum conium, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and stratum germinativum. Okay, this 5 layers is part of your epidermis. So your epidermis has 5 layers. Okay, and then your dermis, which is also called your true skin, which is the second layer, has 2 layers. It has its papillary layer, and the bottom layer is called the reticular layer. So the dermis has 2 layers. Okay, and then the subcutaneous layer is the bottom layer. The subcutaneous layer is also called hypodermis. That's your third layer of the skin. So it has 2 names. Some people call it hypodermis. Some people call it subcutaneous. Okay. Now, if you look at this picture, you will see that the hair follicle, which is this hole here, we call it the tunnel, where the hair grows. This tunnel here, it's called the hair follicle. Okay. So the hair follicle stretches all the way, okay, down to the third layer. Okay, it goes all the way down to the third layer. And your blood bag, 你说
Kristen， 那个黄颜色一个圆的那个是什么东西？
这些
啊，对，是什么东西？
这些啊，脂肪 fats adipose tissue 看到吗？ adipose tissue
哦，
fat
看见了。
脂肪 all this
其他
OK， 你等一下我一个一个解释好吗？
哦，好的。
我还没有解释，我要从头解释到尾啊，一个一个来。So your hair follicle goes all the way to your 3 layers. Okay? Now, you can see all this here, all these blue things here. These are your nerve. Okay? All these are your nerve. Okay? Nerve, 神经线. Okay? This one is your areata pillar. Areata pillar is where goosebumps. 这个是你鸡皮疙瘩的时候 this muscle pulls this thing close. Your thing close, your hair stands. Okay, that's why you get goosebumps when you're cold or when you're scared. Again, when you're frightened. So this muscle pulls it, the hole close, the hair stands. That's why you get goosebumps. 所以你有鸡皮疙瘩，因为它一拉这边就关，那个头发就直。因为其实我们头发全部都是斜的 because our hair is always slanted. If you look at your hand or your hair, it's always slanted. It's not straight. But once the goosebump pull this thing close, the hair becomes straight. That's why when you have goosebumps, your hair is all straight. Okay? Because the pores is closed, it squeeze on the hair. That's why the hair has become straight. Okay? Now, if you can see this one here, this one is your sebaceous gland. Okay? The sebaceous gland, okay, there might be 2 or 1. It all depends. Because men has more sebaceous gland than women. Okay, but this is your sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland, it's your oil gland. Sebaceous gland is your oil gland. So that's why your face has oil, your skin has oil, is because of the sebaceous gland. Okay, we have more sebaceous gland on our face and our scalp than on any parts of our body. Okay, that's why you see 2 here. Okay, our face and our hair has more sebaceous gland than any part of the body. 这个油囊啊，我们的脸部跟头部会比较多，其他身体没有这么多，所以为什么身体那个油性没有这么油 ？Okay, now so the sebaceous gland, it's found on the dermis, on the papillary layer, on the first layer of the skin. first layer of your dermis. Papillary is the first layer. Reticular is the second layer, right? So this one, it's in your dermis on the papillary layer. That's your sebaceous gland. And then you look at this one. It's attached to your hair follicle, and there's another one that is attached to your sweat pore. So these two, okay, these two like coils of wire. This two is actually your sweat glands. Okay, your sweat glands is also called sudoriferous. Okay, sudoriferous gland. Remember, sudoriferous gland is your sweat gland. One is attached to your hair gland, and the other one, it's by itself. Okay, 我们的那个汗毛孔有两个，一个是接到我们的毛发，另外一个它没有毛的，它就自己流汗。Okay, so now, if you look at here on the bottom layer, on the very bottom layer, the fifth layer of your epidermis, okay, 最底层, okay, of your epidermis, there's this layer called it's the strontium germinativum. Is actually your base. It's also called the basal cell layer. Basal cell layer is the layer between the epidermis and the dermis. That's why it's called the epidermal and dermal junction. Okay, you can see here. This black one. Okay, this black one is your basal layer. It's between your epidermis and your dermis. Okay, in between. It's like a cutoff. And then you see this blue one and red one. Blue vein, red capillaries, because this one provide oxygen, right? The blood pumps from the heart is red, okay? The blood that carries oxygen is red color. The blood that carries all the waste away is blue color, okay? That's why you have blue and red. This one is filled with waste and carbon dioxide blood. This one is blood filled with oxygen. Okay? So you can see the blood vessel is in the dermis and in the subcutaneous layer. Okay? So blood vessel is found on the second and third layer of the skin. Now, we are going to go into details on the next page. Okay? Let's turn to the next page. 430. Okay, your skin cells looks like this. They're like blocks, like the house, the bricks. So these are layers of skin cells. Our skin cells are layers, okay, built on top of each other. Okay, that's your skin cells. Okay, the barrier layer. Okay, it's like a brick, like building your house, the brick. Okay, so our skin cell looks like this, layers. Okay, now, your skin function. Your skin has 6 primary functions of the skin. 1, protection. 2, sensation. 3, heat. 4, heat regulation. 4, excretion. 5, secretion. And 6, absorption. So the 6 primary functions of skin are protection, sensation, heat regulation, excretion, secretion, and absorption. Let's look at the first one, protection. Okay, the skin is thin, yet it is strong. It is a protective barrier to protect you from the outside elements and microorganisms. Microorganisms will be like bacteria, virus, parasites, fungus. All those are considered microorganisms. Okay, so our skin has many different defense mechanisms to protect the body from injury and invasion. Invasion means the bacteria attack you. Okay. So injury means you get hurt or cut, okay? Now, sebum. Please remember this word. 请记住这个字啊 Sebum represent oil. So the sebaceous gland, okay, the oil gland. The sebaceous gland, okay, sebaceous gland produces sebum. Okay, so 那个 sebaceous gland 就是出油，油叫做 sebum. Okay? So the sebaceous gland produces sebum on the epidermis that gives protection from external factors such as invasion by certain bacteria. The acid mantle is the protective barrier made up of sebum, lipid, sweat, and water. So if you can see here, this is our skin. You can see this first layer here. This one. This is our protective layer. This protective layer is called the acid mantle. The acid mantle is the protective barrier made up of sebum, which is oil, lipid, sweat, and water. Lipid is like fats. Okay, it's a form of oil too. Okay, it's a lubricant. So remember, 你要记住这个字 okay? Acid mantle 是我们皮肤上面一个保护膜 okay? So it's made of sebum, lipid, sweat, and water. Now, these components, that means all this form a hydrolipidic film to protect the skin from drying out and from sun exposure to external factors. The acid mantle has an average pH of 5.5. That's why it's called acid mantle, because the pH is acidic. So our skin's pH is 5.5. Okay? 我们的皮肤那个保护膜，它的 pH 值是 5.5， 所以为什么叫做酸性？ Okay, so the acid mantle is 5.5. Please remember this because there will be questions coming up from this. Okay, the balanced pH of the skin is important for maintaining the proper acidic level of 5.5 to protect from pathogens and for regulating enzymatic functions. Okay? Enzymatic functions. Functions. Yeah, enzymatic function. It's this. Okay? 酸功能 enzymatic functions. Okay, next one is the acid mantle. The acid mantle is part of the skin's natural barrier function, so it's a protective layer. The barrier function is the skin's mechanism that protects us from irritation and intercellular transepidermal water loss. Remember this word, please. Transepidermal water loss. TEWL. What is this? You know, our first layer of the skin is the epidermis, right? 我们的表皮层叫做 epidermis. Transepidermal means through, in, out. Okay? Through. Transepidermal. Okay? That means what? Our epidermis has 5 layers up to here. So transepidermal means in or out. That's called transepidermal. Okay? So intercellular means what? It goes through the cells. Your skin cells looks like this. So in transepidermal, that means intercellular is like this. 我们的皮肤组织叫做 intercellular， 因为它叠成好像房子，那种房子用砖的房子这样子，这是我们的皮的细胞。所以呢，那些水分呢，就是从这些砖这样子走动。这走动呢叫做 transepidermal， OK， 叫做 intercellular， so intercellular transepidermal， intercellular transepidermal。 Okay, now this one water loss means you lose water， 就是缺水了。So The barrier function of the skin is to protect us from irritation and intercellular transepidermal water loss. That means the acid mantle protects our skin, blocks our skin from losing water. OK, 这个 acid mantle 是一个保护膜，防止我们的皮肤失去水分。Understand? Okay? Yes, Sushila, you understand? Okay? So our acid mantle is a barrier function, okay? That protects us from irritation. Irritation like what? Cold, like an insect bite, right? Cold, pain, or heat, or you get pinch, okay? So the acid mantle protects us from all this, okay? Irritation, okay? And intercellular water loss. Okay, remember this, TEWL, transepidermal water loss.
Transepidermal water
loss. Who's that? The microphone is on. Turn off your microphone. Now, the water loss caused by evaporation on the skin surface. You see, because the air is dry, so our skin has to protect us from the dryness. That's why our skin keep pushing out water to keep our skin moist. That's why we tend to lose water. That's why you have to drink a lot of water. Okay, it's best to drink at least 8 to 10 cups of water a day. Okay, 每天要喝大概8到10杯水。1 cup is 8 ounces. Okay, 1 cup. Okay, 1 cup is 8 ounces. So you should drink 8 to 10 cups of water each day. Okay, 1 cup is 8 ounces. So you want to drink 8 to 10 cups of water each day. Now, what is lipid? Lipid are substances that contribute to the barrier function of the epidermis. Lipids are protective oil. So next time you see lipid, you know lipid is a kind of oil that is made. Lipid also represents fats. So next time when you see the word lipid, it means oil or fats. Okay, so lipid represent oil or fats. Okay, so lipid, okay, are protective oil and are part of your intercellular matrix, which is a fluid between your epidermal cells. So that means your cells here, you will find in between your cells, you will find oil, which is lipid. Okay? Because I don't know if you remember here, on this first page, where is the bonding? Anyway, let's just come back here. So lipids are protective oil that is part of your intercellular matrix, okay, of your epidermal. So just imagine your first layer of your cells. Imagine, okay, this is your first layer of your skin, which is your epidermis. It looks like this, okay, stacked on top of one another. Okay, 想象你的表皮层，它是这样子的组成的，一层一层一层一层，然后中间这些都是可以给你那个水分跟那个油流通的。Okay, imagine this will be your intercellular matrix. Okay, intercellular matrix. Okay, like this. This is a blow up picture. This is a smaller picture. Okay, 这是放大。This is 缩小. So that's your intercellular matrix. It looks like this. 1 layer of skin, 2 layer of skin, 3 layer of skin, 4 layer of skin, layers of skin. Okay? 这是你的皮的一层一层一层一层. Okay? 大概是这样子. So this is your intercellular matrix. Because I need you to understand intercellular matrices because in this book, in the next few chapters, all the other chapters, we will come upon this word a lot. 我需要你们了解这个字，因为我们以后学的很多美容的知识都会有这个字 intercellular matrix. So I need you to understand this word. Everybody understand this word? 每个人了解这个字吗？
不知道老师，这个中文叫啥？
你没有那个 APP 吗？你没有下载那 APP 在你的手上，你的手机吗？
我有那个有道
啊，那他有帮你翻译吗？
没有，我没翻译啊。
细胞间机制。我不能讲中文太多，是因为
细胞间机制。
我们的班上有韩国学生跟有外国学生，所以我不可以一直讲中文。所以你们可以的话，你们手机去找那个 app 下载了，然后我讲书的时候，你可以直接照上去，它会直接在手机帮你翻译。OK。不过如果你需要我解释深一点的话，我可以解释，可是我不可能每个字都帮你翻译。OK。So intercellular matrix, OK， 就是这个细胞间机制。譬如说这个是你的皮肤，你的皮肤的组织如果放大的话，就变成这样子，就是好像造房子的砖，一层一层 ，OK， 一层一层，中间这边这些洞，就是那些油水分流通 ，OK， 好像一个道管这样子 ，OK，So 这个是叫做 intercellular matrix， 明白吗 ？OK， intercellular matrix， 这个放大了，就好像这个，就是说，看到吗？这样子，这个通道，这些通道，就是你的 intercellular matrix。细胞间，所以如果这是你的细胞，它的中间这些 ，OK， 这些就是你的细胞间，所以这些叫做 intercellular matrix。So Sheila, do you understand this part?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, how about Hora U? Do you understand Hora? And Solilim? So everyone understand intercellular matrix? Okay? Okay? Okay, good. Please remember this word, okay? Intercellular. The gap in between the cells are your intercellular matrix. Okay. So the lipids are protective oil and part of your intercellular matrix between your epidermal cells. So damage to our barrier layer is the cause of many skin problems, including sensitivity, aging, and dehydration. So the skin's most amazing feature is the ability to heal itself. The skin can also repair itself when you're injured, so protecting the body from infection and damage from the injury. Through a hyperproduction of cells and blood clotting. Okay, now hyperproduction, this word means overproduction. Okay, normal production and hyperproduction. Hyperproduction means to speed up or too much. Okay, it's hyper. Okay, the increase in production faster than normal. That's called hyperproduction. Okay, hyperproduction. Okay, 超产. Okay, so this is not normal. Okay, why will this happen? It's because of blood clotting. That means when you cut yourself. Okay, when you cut yourself, your skin reacts and starts to produce a lot of cells to cover up the cut. Okay, 这个情况会发生，超产细胞会发生，是因为当你割到手的时候，你一直流血，那个血就会止血 ，OK， blood clotting， 然后呢，它的细胞就会 开始来帮你的皮肤restore 恢复 okay 恢复 okay so the hyperproduction of cells will happen when you have an injured skin so it can help it to restore to its normal thickness okay now hormones such as EGF okay another word you want to remember is EGF which is epidermal growth factor epidermal growth factor stimulate the skin cells to produce and heal. Can you give me 1 minute? Sorry, just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. You want meat? I give you the noodle, I'll put it in there and you eat it together. You're not hungry? Go drink this in the morning. Drink water. Not in the morning. You can drink it and then in your lunch. Sorry. My mouth was very dry. I went to get water. So, hormones such as epidermal growth factor. Now, 荷尔蒙 okay, hormones. 我们其中一个荷尔蒙叫做 EGF. One of our hormone is called the epidermal growth factor. That means it helps our skin cells to grow and heal. Okay, so this hormone called EGF helps our skin cells to grow and produce and heal. Okay, so 这个荷尔蒙就是帮助我们的皮肤生长跟恢复。Okay, 这就是这个荷尔蒙叫做 EGF. Okay, remember this is a hormone called EGF. Okay, now proteins and peptides trigger fibroblast, which is a cell stimulator and cells to rejuvenate. Okay, so fibroblast is an action. Fibroblast is a cell stimulator. Okay, fibroblast. Okay, fibroblast.
成纤维细胞
Okay, so fibroblast is this 成纤维细胞. Okay, so it's actually a cell. Okay, it's a cell. Fibroblast is a cell. Okay, that helps our skin to cells to rejuvenate. The word rejuvenate means to grow again. Okay, rejuvenate. Means like to make you look or feel younger, fresh, and more lively. That's the word rejuvenate. Okay. So rejuvenate. 这个 Okay, rejuvenate. Rejuvenate 就是这个字。
指某人或某物看起来或感觉更年轻、更新鲜或更活泼。
Okay, so that's the word rejuvenate. Rejuvenate means to make you look younger, fresher, more lively. So that's why proteins and peptides in our skin trigger, okay, fibroblasts, which is a cell stimulator, okay, for our skin to look younger, look fresher, and look more lively. Okay, you have to understand this. Okay, again, this word fibroblast. Okay, 你要记住这个字 fibroblast. Fibroblast. Okay, fibroblast is the one that helps our cells to rejuvenate. But in order for the fibroblast cells to work, we need proteins and peptides. Okay, now skin cells are activated to quickly repair the skin. Okay, other protective components of the skin include cells and the immune system. So this percent, so we will discuss it. So let's look at the next page, 231. Now, another form of protection in our skin is the melanin. Melanin 就是黑色素 okay? The pigment color 就是color, okay? Pigment means color. The color pigment that protects us from the sun. So melanin, or melanine, Okay, it's the pigment you will find it like your eyes. Your eyes, right? Some people, the eyes is blue. Some people eyes are green, brown. Okay, so the eyes, pigment, okay, or black. And then hair, you have what? Blonde, red, brown, black. Okay, so the millennium can be found in eyes, hair, and your skin. Okay, so it gives us protection from the UV emitted by the sun. So melanin found in the skin is to protect us from the UV rays. Okay. Now, the second function of your skin is sensation. Sensation is the sensory nerve ending in the dermis. Respond to touch, pain, cold, heat, and pressure. You can see on this page, I told you already all this. This is your sensory nerve. Okay? 这是你的那个神经线，神经感官线。Okay? This is in your dermis. Okay? This one is found in your dermis. So your sensory nerve is found in your dermis. Responds to touch. Okay? Touch. Okay? Touch. Touch. Pain. Cold, heat, and pressure. So when the body senses touch, it affects our body's function. Like massage, okay, and product application produce physiological benefits to the body, such as increase in circulation. Okay, there's millions of nerve-ending fibers on the surface of your skin detect stimuli. Stimuli means what? Stimuli is like stimuli. How do I explain stimuli? Stimuli. Okay, stimuli is a thing or event that evokes a specific function reaction. Yeah, stimuli is a function reaction. Okay, such as when something touches you, it triggers triggers our body to have a reaction. Like for example, fire. When you come close to a fire, you feel heat. So the fire is a stimuli. Okay? So it's a thing that cause your body to have a reaction. Okay? So stimuli 就是刺激. Okay? So there are millions of nerve-ending fibers on the surface of the skin that detect stimuli. Okay, so our skin, let's say you get pinch, you feel pain. When heat touch you, you feel like burning. When an insect bites you, you feel cold, pain. And then if something cold or ice touch you, you feel cold. So all this are called stimuli. Heat, insect bite, cold are all called stimuli. Okay? So this sensation sends message to your brain as a protective defense mechanism or as a positive message that something is stimulating the surface. So once you feel all this, the message, the nerve, okay, the nerve can feel it. So it sends message up to your brain, okay, up to your brain and tell you, oh, it's painful or oh, it's cold, okay. So these signals also cause other nerves and muscle to react. Right? For example, if it's cold, if you feel cold, your auricular muscle pulls it and the hair close, right? They have to protect your skin from losing temperature, to protect your skin from keeping the temperature. That's why the auricular will close up to block the heat from losing. So 如果譬如说你觉得冷 ，OK， 那个神经线就会发那个讯号给你的头脑跟你的那个肌肉，所以呢，譬如说你冷，这个肌肉就会立刻把你的毛孔缩小。为什么会把毛孔缩小？因为它会防止我们身体失去温度。Okay? So sensory nerve fibers are most abundant in the fingertips and thus are designed to be one of the most sensitive parts. So our most sensitive part of our skin is actually our fingertip. Okay? 指尖最敏感的，我们全身最敏感的地方就是我们的 fingertip 这里， 指尖。Okay, our fingertip is the most sensitive part of our body. Okay, 我们指尖。Now, the third function, right? Remember our skin has 6 functions, right? So 6 functions. So function number 1, function number 2, function number 3, heat regulation. Okay, our body average temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 我们身体的温度。So when the outside temperature changes, the skin automatically adjusts to warm or cool our body. Okay, so if it's winter time, our body will close up the pores, to prevent our body from losing heat. And then when it's summertime, because we're hot, so we start to sweat. The sweat will help us to cool down our body temperature. So that's what it means by when the outside temperature changes, the skin adjusts to warm or cool our body. Okay, now the body maintains thermal regulation through evaporation, perspiration, radiation, and insulation. Now, evaporation, everyone should know, right? The water evaporates becomes steam. Okay, evaporation 是蒸化 ，perspiration 是流汗 ，perspiration means you sweat. Radiation means the sunlight, UV causes radiation. 太阳有那个 radiation. What is radiation? Radiation 辐射 Okay, radiation. Okay, so radiation is actually because of the sun. Okay, 因为太阳造成，所以我们的皮肤有那个辐射。Insulation. Now, insulation means to protect, to keep. Okay, when you see the word insulation, means there's a layer of something that protects you from losing heat. Insulation 的意思就是it's insulation. I don't want to try to explain. I'm not good in Chinese. Insulation. Okay, to keep your home warmer. Insulation. Okay. Insulation. Okay. Insulation.
支援某物的行为，通过保温使您的家更温暖。
So insulation 的意思大概就是帮助你的身体保温、隔绝。Okay， 就是皮肤帮你保温。Okay, millions of sweat glands release heat from the body through perspiration, to keep us from overheating. Okay, that's why when we're hot, we sweat. So the sweat will keep our body cool. We then cool ourselves through evaporation on the skin surface. So blood flow and blood vessels dilation also assists in cooling the body. Now, you see this word blood vessel dilation? Blood vessel dilation means what? Your blood vessel opens up. Okay, the word dilation means open, bigger. Okay, so when you see blood vessel dilation means your blood vessels open bigger. 这个 blood vessel dilation 的意思就是血管胀开。Okay， 这个字 dilation 是胀开，因为当你很热的时候，你的血管会胀开，让那个血液循环更快，那我们的身体的那个温度才会可以降低。Okay， so that's why when you are hot, your body will start to sweat, perspiration. Okay, and also your blood vessel will dilate, open up. Okay, to cool down our body. Okay, now next page. If we are cold, our blood vessels will constrict. Okay, constrict means become smaller. Okay, constriction means to become smaller. 这个 word constriction 或者 constrict 的意思就是血管缩小，因为你冷，所以你的血管会缩小。OK， 缩小了，你的血液循环就会降低。OK， 这样子的话才会帮你保温。So when you're cold, because of the cold, it constricts your blood vessels. It makes your blood vessels smaller, so your blood flow becomes slower. Okay? Also, your body fat. Okay? Your body fat will help to insulate and warm your body. 我们身体的脂肪会帮助我们保温。Okay? Now, hair follicles also help to regulate body temperature and protect heat loss, which is this one here, the hair follicle. Okay? That's your hair follicle. Hair follicle, this tunnel here. 这个洞叫 hair follicle. So the hair follicle, okay, so when we are cold, the auricular muscle attached to the hair follicle contract and cause goosebumps. This reaction is thought to warm the skin by air pocket that is created under the hair and stand up when the muscle contract. Shivering is also an automatic response to cold and a way to warm up the body. Okay? Shiver, you know, right? Sometimes when you're cold, you go, you know, you shake, you know, you start to shake. Shivering. Shivering is an automatic response to cold. And that can actually help to warm up your body. Okay? So when the auricular pulls the hair follicle, this will warm the skin by the air pocket that is created under the hair. Now you can see here, this is your pore. Okay, when the auricular muscle pulls it and close it, this here, it's an air pocket. So it will lock the air inside to keep you warm. Okay, becomes an air pocket because this is a tunnel. It's a hole. Okay, 这是解释给你听，当你冷的时候，你的毛孔会关掉。当你关掉的时候，这个洞里面就会有锁住一层温度在里面，所以你才不会冷。所以这个里面是一个air pocket。气袋 ，OK， 因为当毛孔关掉的时候，里面就有一层气在里面，所以当你这个毛孔关掉，那个气袋呢就会帮助保温。OK， Now the fourth function is excretion. Excretion would be your sweat. Okay, your sweat gland on your skin. Okay, excretion 的意思就是排便排毒 ，OK， 那我们皮肤的排毒方法呢，就是就是 sweat glands, sudoriferous， 就是流汗。So please remember this word, sudoriferous glands. See here, sudoriferous. So sudoriferous gland, also known as your sweat gland, excrete perspiration and detoxify the body by excreting excess means extra. Okay, detoxify means to remove poison from your body. So detoxify the body by excreting excess water, salt, and unwanted chemicals through the pores. Okay, so the sweat glands, okay, when we sweat, okay, it helps us to get rid of excessive water, salt, and unwanted chemicals through the pores. Sweat, just like oil, which is sebum, is also part of the acid mantle. Okay, so the top layer of your skin, the protective layer, which is the acid mantle. Okay, so sweat is part of your acid mantle. Now, pores are the opening for the sweat glands. Okay, the word pore is also used as a lay term for follicle because both are openings on the top of the epidermis. This gland function are discussed. So you can see here, this is a hair follicle, and this part here the opening is called the pore. So this is a sweat pore. This is a hair pore. Okay, or we call it the follicle. Okay, so sweat pore, hair pore. The opening on the skin is called pores. P-O-R-E-S. Pores. Pores 就是毛孔。Now, the fifth function is secretion. Secretion means what? Sebum is an oily substance that protects the surface of the skin and lubricates both the skin and the hair. Now, you know what is lubricate? Lubricate means to keep the skin moist. Okay? See here? Lubricate, okay, is to keep your skin smooth. Okay? And prevent friction. Okay? Lubricate 的意思就是
润滑
Okay, so lubricate means 润滑. So that's why oil, okay, from the sebaceous gland, okay, lubricates the skin and the hair. Okay, so the oil gland, which is the sebaceous gland, is an appendage just attached to the follicle that produces sebum. So which is like this picture here. This is your hair follicle. This is the oil gland, which is the sebaceous gland. It produces oil. All these dots are oil. Okay? It produces oil. The oil goes to the top of skin to lubricate our skin and our hair. Okay? So it keeps it moist and soft and smooth. So the oils help keep the skin soft and protect from outside element. The skin is about 50 to 70% water. Okay, our skin is 50 to 70% water. Sebum coating the surface of the skin slows down the evaporation of water, also known as TEWL. So you see when there's oil, the oil blocks the water from losing. Okay, the oil becomes like a protective layer. Okay, 这个油可以防止水流失。Okay? 水流失，细胞水流失就是这个 transepidermal water loss. And helps maintain water levels in the cells. Emotional stress and hormone imbalances can stimulate all glands to increase in the flow of sebum, which can lead to skin problem. Okay, so when you're emotionally stressed or when the hormone is imbalanced, your sebum starts to produce more oil. That's why we get skin inflammation or acne. Okay? 当你的荷尔蒙不平衡或者你有压力的话，你的油囊就会出特别多的油，造成我们的皮肤感染，所以才会有痘痘或者皮肤红肿。Okay, next one. Absorption. Absorption, it means it sucks in. Absorption means to suck in. Water, oxygen is necessary for skin health. Vitamin D, which is from the sun. Okay, when we go under the sun, our skin will produce a vitamin D. Okay, which is essential for our skin. So the skin selectively absorbs topical products and creams through the cell, hair follicle, and sebaceous gland. While absorption is limited, some ingredients with a smaller molecular size can penetrate into the skin. The penetration ability of the ingredient is determined by the size of the molecule and other characteristics of the product. Lipid-soluble products penetrate better and the routes of penetration into the skin through the follicle wall, sebaceous gland, intercellular or transcellular. Okay, so that means, look, this is your cell. This is your intercellular route. Okay, this is your intercellular route. So let's say you put moisturizer. You put hydrating moisturizer. Hydrating means what? To replenish your skin with water. Why our skin is looks dry? It's not because we don't. It's because we. Okay. I need you to understand this word, dry and dehydrated. You need to understand this word, dry skin and dehydrated skin. Now, dry skin means not enough oil on the skin. Okay, dry skin. So 当你讲干性皮肤是不够油。Dehydrated skin means not enough water. Okay, so the word dehydrated means not enough water. Please remember this. Don't mix up. Don't go and tell a customer, oh, your skin is so dry. No, it's not dry. Dry means you don't have enough oil. In skincare, dry means not enough water. You have to tell your customer your skin is dehydrated. Dehydrated means your skin don't have enough water. A lot of you, if you look into your face in the mirror, you will see your face have like fine lines. 如果你的脸上有很多细纹 okay, it's because your skin is dehydrated. Okay, 细纹是因为你的脸缺水 Okay, fine lines are caused by dehydration. Of course, it's also because of the sun. 也是因为那个太阳，因为你晒太阳，那太阳就会弄干你的皮肤，所以才缺水，所以才有细纹。Okay, so your skin is dehydrated. Skin means not enough water. So that's why over here, when we put in products, when we put on moisturizer, it travels down our intercellular matrix down into the intercellular route, goes into your cell. Okay, so to help our skin look better. 所以我们为什么会放 moisturizer， 就是那些润肤膏，就是因为有一些产品它可以帮助我们的皮肤吸收水分，保持那个皮肤不会干。Okay, so 产品是从这些细胞这个 intercellular route 就是这个路程进去我们的皮肤，来给我们皮肤吸收。Okay, so penetration 就是吸收透penetration. Okay, penetration
渗透
或者渗入 Okay, 或者渗入 Okay, so penetration is the action or process of making a way through into something. So penetration means to go into the skin. Okay, the word penetration means to be sucked in, absorbed by the skin. Okay, so absorption of select topical products can help our skin moisturize, nourish, and protect it. Okay, so there's a lot of skincare products like chemicals and prescription creams that can penetrate the skin. Okay, now some of the effects of the skin can the product can be harmful or it can be beneficial depending on the chemical. So when you use anything on your skin, always check the ingredient first before you test it on your skin. Okay, 你用任何产品最好是知道产品里面的原料，你才用在皮肤上面，不要造成伤害。Any questions on the primary function? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 有没有人有问题 No? No questions? No questions? Let's go for a break. Come back at 10:25. 没有问题的话，我们去 take a break. 10:25回来。Okay? I'll see you at 10:25.